Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before we even get into this, what the fuck is this, bud? Why is this sticky note on my mic?
Oh
And
yeah,
why does it say stop speaking?
I asked your wife to put that there. Sorry, she didn't even hesitate though. Honestly, she didn't even blink. It was like I think
Dude,
the first version she wrote. I think she had it done before I even finished my sentence. So
wow. I hear it enough from her. I don't need to hear it from you too, but I'm just kind of curious and what was the first version?
I think the original draft said something that had for the love of God in there. I think there was a few expletives or whatever. So I think she definitely toned it down for you there.
Wow. There's some people close to you. I swear to God.
Hey man, if the people closest to you are begging for you to shut up, I'm just respecting family wishes here.
Oh, you're an ass.
Welcome back, everybody. He's Calvo. I'm Brooksee. This is the NFLA Season 3, Episode 12, where the vibes are always high, the takes are mostly spicy, and the research is fucking questionable at best. But that cold open was, let's face it, Hollywood's not fucking calling us anytime soon, dude. But, we just love watching NFL football, and we like to talk about what we watch. So let's do that.
Is this what you wanted? Just not speaking the rest of the way? What a
Oh, we're taking it
douche.
literally now.
Yeah, what a douche. But really, it just sounds like you're just jealous of my acting abilities. Gonna win an Emmy for this thing, and green looks shitty on you, homie. Get it?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's kind of like a double entendre, if you will. Green for envy, and your ugly ass Eagles gear.
Yeah, I get it. But speaking of which, I believe I won a bet, dude.
I
And
don't know what you're talking about.
the terms of that bet require you to be wearing a certain shitty Eagles green right now.
Ugh, do I
Let's
really
see it.
have to do this?
Yeah. Eagles won. Let's
I've
go.
never been bullied in my whole life until I tried on that one hat in the store.
You'll never
I
look
was like
better.
spit on and called a bunch of names instantly.
You're never gonna look better on this pod than you will once you have that Eagles gear on.
Well, I'm wearing green. Isn't that enough? Like,
That's
I don't know.
close. It's close, but no, I need
Okay.
to see an Eagles logo.
Well, if I must,
Let's see it.
I must.
There it is.
Look
Oh,
at
I love
this.
it. Oh, it's beautiful.
Gross. I
Oh, buddy,
just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
that's a thing of beauty right there. Now we got a pod. Now we got a
Oh,
show.
my God. What an embarrassment. Why don't we just get right into it? Because,
Let's
like,
talk about it.
I don't even want to dwell on this anymore. I want to get it off my chest
Let's
and
go.
just be done with this.
Eagles 16, Lions 9. Let's go. Let's start week 11 breakdown with a beauty of a game, my man.
Well, I don't even know if I'd call it entertaining. The defenses did show up on both sides. And let's be real, if it wasn't for aggressiveness and that kind of fluky tipped up pass that you guys interception gave you prime position for a tush push, this game would have been even more embarrassing for both of us to talk about this week, I think.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but the Eagles defense plays like that and just shuts you down. I don't. I mean,
Oh, okay. We're not gonna talk about like poor quarterback play, throwing the ball like 4 yards behind our receivers over
if we're
their
gonna
heads.
talk about poor quarterback play, we got to talk about Jared Goff first. 14 for 37. What's that, like a 37% completion percentage?
Yeah, that might be probably the worst performance I've seen him do as a Lion, maybe even his whole career. Yeah, he just looked oddly off in this one, and I think we can both be honest. Like we watched the game together. It was frustrating on both sides
Yeah,
for each of us, but I think
a lot of punts.
there wasn't really anything that I found that the Eagles were doing special. Like there were some good rushes. Your defensive line was pretty stout, but I would think you would kind of agree on the other side too. But so to see the ineptitude on the missed timings, the drop passes, the failure to convert multiple times was just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, the 0 for 5 you guys went on fourth down. You can't be doing that. We shut you down
No,
5 times in a row on fourth down to turn it over on downs, and I think that was pretty telling. I mean, credit the Eagles defense, man. Like,
well, I'm not
Jay,
necessarily discrediting. Like I said, you guys got a bunch of pressures and it was difficult. But like there was a lot that I felt could have been converted.
this newbie though, Jalen Phillips that we just got from the Dolphins, fucking what a stud again. He could almost be my beauty again this week. Like he was five total tackles. He had a sack. He had a tackle for a loss. He had a couple of QB pressures. He was a menace out there. He's, I mean, thank you Miami for a third round pick. We'll can take it. Thank you
Right?
Howie.
Man, it just goes to show you what a year makes, right? Like the difference of it, because I think the Lions are forgetting that you got a pretty damn good offensive line. And what are
Yeah,
you doing? Like Jared Goff was having to move out of the pocket. Yeah, so like I said, not discrediting anything.
yeah.
You guys played well enough to beat us, but I think the opportunities were there. And I take a little bit of solace in the fact that we didn't have our best game by far.
No,
And this game was very reachable, I would say.
yeah,
Now, there is some controversy in this game.
yeah.
And you know me, I'm pretty realistic. I'm not going to say that was the be all end all and why we lost that game because there's multiple reasons. But we were all robbed of the opportunity to see if the Lions could actually do it and come down and march down the field in the last couple of minutes to try and tie that game.
So that was a bad call, and what we're talking about is the pass interference flag at the end of the game that pretty much robbed Detroit of the ball. Terrible call, I'll admit that. But if we're gonna blame the loss on that, like I think that's a little bit disingenuous because let's face it,
For
Jared
sure.
Goff, like we said, was 14 for 37. The Lions were 0 for 5 on fourth down. Like you had your chances to make a bunch of conversions, and if we're hinging it all on one flag, I think that's a little bit. It was a shitty call. I'll agree. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a shitty call
Well, and again, I
for the
think it's just
Eagles.
really the kind of unrealistic people that think you should probably win every single game or that
Yeah.
every play is going to go your way. And yeah, pretty ticky tacky call. But again, when you don't convert on fourth down five
Yep.
times, I think two of them were overthrown or just widely thrown. Two of them were drops and then one sneak that they didn't convert on. Right.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
just like you're putting yourself in terrible positions. It's a credit to the defense on Detroit's side that the score was only 16 points for the Eagles
Yeah, your defense showed up
because
too. Yeah.
that could have easily went the other way, right?
Yep.
And it's just like, man, how does this even happen? And I think that was the most frustrating part on my behalf, not only because I have to wear this shitty thing,
Yeah, I love it.
but now it's like one of these things that now your record's pushing you out of the playoffs,
Yeah.
right?
6-4 is not
This
good.
Our
Yeah.
schedule is not easy the rest of the way.
Hmm.
There's probably three or four games that could be just absolute coin flips based on teams' records and being in the playoffs last year. So it's like you're in danger now of just falling right out of this thing. Meanwhile, the Eagles are just kind of cruising in that division.
Yeah, I mean the defense stepped up. So many players on the defense stepped up. N'Kobe Dean, that huge, a bunch of huge plays, but that the one where he blew up David Montgomery trying to block him and threw him into Jared Goff for the sack. I mean,
That's crazy.
you don't see that every day, and that was a huge play. Like you said, the defensive line getting after it. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, they blocked five passes. They batted five balls down at the line between them. So, I mean, between all those guys contributing, I mean, yeah, shitty penalty calls are going to happen. But I think it was it was really just a complete effort by the Eagles defense, more so than getting overshadowed by one flag here and there. Obviously, it came at a pretty
Oh,
shitty time, but yeah,
right.
like you said, those playoff implications. Basically, you've slipped out of a playoff position at this point. You're third in the NFC North behind the Bears and the Packers now.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't expect that to last. Like we've still got one more game each against those two. Green Bay is next week for us, so
Yeah,
I believe that's American Thanksgiving.
I
So
still think the Lions are a playoff team, 74% chance of making it. I'm not really
yeah,
worried, but you just do have some tough games coming up. Yeah,
but you don't have any wiggle room now, and that's
right,
the point, right? Like
right.
I think we can both be honest. Like if the offense was clicking, if the game played out in a similar fashion, right? If the
Yeah.
offense was clicking, you guys wouldn't have had the ball very much because they would have converted those, right? And so again, like the fact that it took a couple of field goals basically was the difference in this game.
Well, was
And
your offense not clicking, or was the Eagles' defense making it that way?
well, you saw the game, and I
Yeah,
think like I said,
combination of both.
I don't think the secondary was doing anything spectacular.
No.
Like there was so many missed drops or miscatches, I should say. Then the missed throws by Goff. Like I don't know if that was necessarily all on what the defense was doing, but I mean, hey, kudos to you guys. You held us to next to no points.
Well,
So
the pressure was there to make Goff miss once in a while, but you're right. I mean, even when he wasn't pressured, he was still missing guys left and
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So.
But I mean, like I said, I'm not discrediting anything that the defense is doing. They had pressure, but I wouldn't say it was anything that they're not used to in terms of not being able to catch the ball.
No, and it's not like the Eagles offense was blowing you guys out of the water either. Jalen only completed 50% of his passes for 135 scoreless yards. So
Yeah. Yeah. So again, defensive game, which maybe we saw coming, maybe we didn't. Just a little frustrating
I
one.
kind of thought it was going to be the opposite. I figured it'd be a bit of an offensive kind of shootout, but
I just think even if we didn't even try and convert three of those, right? You can try and convert two.
yeah.
You punt the other three away just based on how the defense was playing. Like you probably wasn't the need for all that aggressiveness, to be
No, your
honest. But
defense held us in check, and punting it probably would have been better option. But at the same
yeah,
time, I mean, we only scored 16 points all game, and we had 5 fourth down turnovers. So we still did really not much with those turnovers, right? So
yeah,
it kind of worked out for you either way. But
yeah. And I would say the Lions did a pretty good job of stopping the tush push. Like obviously the one on the goal line, whatever, it's going to happen. But
yep.
some of those crucial downs for you didn't go
Another
your way.
fucking tush push touchdown. I'm starting to kind of be over it though a little bit. Like, and I said this to
How,
you when we were watching it. Like Saquon earned that touchdown. And obviously they marked him down a half yard short or whatever. And obviously it's going to be a tush push TD for Jalen at that point. We all know what's coming, and it's just a matter of trying to stop it. And you fucking can't stop it from a half yard away. But it sucks. I hate seeing Saquon keep continuing to get robbed. He's already having a rough enough season.
right? Man, what can you do?
Yeah,
But I think Gibbs showed out.
yeah, he did.
The two
Not in the
offensive
rushing game
players I was
necessarily,
happy
but
with were Gibbs and JMO, Jameson Williams.
yeah, our obviously our defensive line held your rushing attack in check. Neither Gibbs or Montgomery went over 40 yards rushing, but yeah, Gibbs had like 100. What was it, like 107 receiving yards or something out of the
Yeah,
backfield. That's pretty good.
not good. Well, like I said, I could go on and complain, but nobody's here to listen to that all day long, except for probably you. Um,
You know
so
what I
like I
find
said,
is kind of wild though is like pretty much half of Goff's yards went to his running back Gibbs.
I know.
How do you not get I'm on Raw featured a little bit more, a little
Well,
bit more JMO.
he dropped a few, right? And
He had that
then
bomb to JMO for the touchdown, and then like
yeah,
nothing else.
I know. It's like they got conservative. They were scared to make a
Yeah,
play, like
just
just put
scared to
it
push it.
downfield.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But it's partially because you guys kept getting to him pretty quickly. Like you don't have time to let those plays develop downfield, right? So
But yeah, that's what kind of concerns me about Detroit is like everyone likes to think of this team as still a playoff team, and they probably are. But those are the kind of gutsy performances that, like, when you look that bad, it's like, are they a playoff team? Or
yeah,
I
they're gonna
trust you guys will get it sorted out. You got a lot of injuries, but
yeah, they got to clean a bunch of shit up,
yeah,
but
man,
and then get healthy. But yeah, is what it
clean a
is,
bunch of shit up. Get back in the film room. Get to work.
right?
Yeah, man.
Well, it would be shocking if the Lions missed the playoffs after the year that they had last year.
Yeah,
It'd be really shocking to see a team that's perennially in the Super Bowl
yeah,
miss the playoffs, right? And the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Denver Broncos. And over the years, the Chiefs have kind of owned the Broncos, right? But
yeah. Pretty much. The Chiefs have owned everyone in their division over the last decade.
right. But the past is just that. It's the past.
Hmm.
Broncos come out on top 22-19.
Woo.
And the Chiefs fall to 5-5.
And slip out of a playoff spot themselves. Broncos go to 9-2, right on top of the AFC. Who'd have thought? That's kind of the opposite of what a lot of people would have thought coming into the year. So
Right?
wild.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's really all that upset about it.
No,
Except for the league
the
getting
Chi-
everyone tuned into Taylor Swift
the
on
Chiefs
the side,
missing the playoffs is a win for every other football fan that's not a Chiefs fan. So,
right?
but I mean
Have,
the oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
have they even panned to Taylor Swift in the crowd at all in any of these games? I don't even know if
I
I've paid
don't know if
attention.
I've seen her much this year. I wonder
Everyone's
if
just over it.
everyone's just over it at this point. Yeah.
Finally.
She's happy. She's this isn't the Taylor we like to to listen to music from.
Ugh, gross. She's happy.
Yeah.
Can't have that,
Writing songs about being happy instead of breakup songs. Fuck that.
right? Weird. But it's it felt like this week was the week for the kickers. And
Yeah.
Will Lutz hit 5 field goals himself, including the 35-yard walk-off as time expired. So it's nice to see some of that Chiefs luck go against them, right? And some teams starting to do that to them in the last couple seconds.
Another kind of defensive battle. Bo was all right though. He threw for almost 300 yards. Didn't throw for any touchdowns. They had the one rushing touchdown from Jaleel McLaughlin.
Mhm.
But the defense showing up and shutting Patrick Mahomes down. Patrick Mahomes threw a pick again this game, 276 yards, not bad. Threw a touchdown to Travis Kelce. Obviously, yeah, Travis Kelce starting to ramp back up here as hopefully the Chiefs can make the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, this was just another like I talked about it last week when I put the Chiefs on fraud watch. Just inconsistent. Like these are the games that you have to win if you're a playoff team, especially in your own division. Like now you're down like 3.5 games and the tiebreaker to the Broncos. There's no way they're catching them this year.
Yeah, it's it's one of these things. I think all that football is catching up with them.
Yeah,
Maybe
man.
they need a new voice in certain aspects, but I think over
Some
the
guys
last
aging
couple of
out or what?
years, well, I think so, but I think too, like we haven't really seen the same Mahomes over the last couple of years, and it's weird because he's got enough weapons to get it done all across the field, but it's we're just not seeing those like crazy games from him these days. You
Yeah.
know, maybe like the splash game here and there. So I think it's just coming back. He's not getting the magic, and it's ending in the losses that would normally win. So
Broncos 9-2, Chiefs 5-5, out of a playoff spot. So we'll see if they can recover down the stretch here with the last 6 or 7 games. But we'll move on from there. I think let's talk about another couple of AFC teams. Another team on top of the AFC at 9-2. New England Patriots do. They win 27-14 over the Jets. We all saw this outcome coming, obviously. Drake May sharp again, 25 for 34, 291 yards and a touchdown. Travion Henderson again. This guy, I don't know why weren't they playing him sooner. Like this guy just ripped off another almost 100 yards this game, 3 more touchdowns, serious damage out of the backfield.
that was the biggest question I had. You know,
Hmm.
like he's so explosive. Like
Why are we
I think
dwelling on Ramondre? Yeah,
I think it was John Gruden even said like this guy is Gibbs 2.0, which
yeah,
is pretty crazy to think of, right?
that's high
Especially
praise. Yeah,
Gibbs isn't that far into the league here either, right? So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
kind of one of these things that yeah, it makes you wonder, but sometimes it just takes guys a little bit longer to learn the playbook, right? Be reliable in the blocking scheme as well, and then you get your opportunities, right? Typical rookie move. Just wait to the back half of the year to do anything when people have kind of given up on you in fantasy. And
Well, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
The Jets, though, went out and got Justin Fields in free agency, gave him a bunch of money, and they benched him. So
Mm-hmm.
they're actually, you've got benched in this game. Tyrod Taylor came in, and now Tyrod Taylor starts this coming week for the Jets. What the hell is, I mean, I guess it's typical. It's pretty, pretty par for the course Jets season at this
Yeah.
point, but
Did they only sign him for a 1 year deal?
I think so. Like a
So
prove
I
it
mean,
deal?
there's really not loyalty to him.
No.
And let's be real, he hasn't been great outside of the odd splash game. The passing game, I mean, not all his fault. I think Donnie Mitchell dropped like 4 balls that game.
Yeah.
But he just he doesn't look good. I don't know what it is. Like even in Pittsburgh, Chicago, you saw flashes where you're like, okay, he's just got kind of a crappy team around him, right? And like, I mean, the Jets aren't that great either, but their weapons just aren't helping him out either.
He he hasn't really been in a great situation yet in his career, and I'd be pretty curious to see what he could do if he because he reminds me like his talent level reminds me of like guys like Lamar, like the things he can do when he shows those flashes, and we saw a few flashes in Chicago for sure, but he had a shit O line around him. He didn't have a ton of weapons. He went to Pittsburgh and started 4-2, and then when Russell Wilson got healthy, all of a sudden Russell Wilson was given the starting job. I don't really know why because Fields looked that was a pretty good situation for him. He had protection, he had some weapons. And yeah, and now in New York, we're kind of seeing a similar situation to how he looked in Chicago. Like, give give the guy an O line, man.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about it lots of times. Like there's so many stars in college that come in, and one, maybe it's just not a great fit for the in scheme that you got drafted to.
Yeah,
Maybe you're just not that great in comparison, like great in college, but when you're getting against the best of the best, you're not so great, right?
yeah,
And it's really baffling because yeah, like we see it more and more these days that not only do people just give up on those players instantly
yeah,
if they have one bad year, but it's like you're expected to come in now and make this immediate impact. Whereas before it was like, nope, you're going to bide your time. You're
yeah,
probably only going to play in like special teams, and then you get those last 3 games of the season, or maybe a guy gets hurt and that's your opportunity. And now it's just like, well, if you're a first round pick, you should be starting instantly day one. And if you don't, or even like you get like 400 yards in your first year. Well, you're just crap.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
get focused on that fantasy life and not the real life stuff, and maybe that's why guys get a little bit more leash than we give them in fantasy. But it's one of these things that, yeah, I feel just the cord gets yanked out from a lot of these guys.
Well, that's it. And like when you come in to the NFL as a rookie, you are expected to produce right out of the gate. Whereas like there are other sports where like if you get drafted in the NHL, you get like 3, 4 years in the minors sometimes to like get your game up to NF or NHL game ready level, right?
Right.
And then you come in as a as a 20 something year old as opposed to coming in as a rookie and being expected to light it up. You get I mean obviously the first couple of picks at the top of the draft are NHL ready right when they're drafted at 18, but for the most part like kids aren't making the NHL after getting drafted for like a couple of years, whereas the NFL is like crazy, man. So we put a lot of pressure on these rookies coming in.
Yeah.
No doubt some of them are going to fold under it.
Right. Well, and I mean, I think it just that's the growing pains of the NFL, right? Like
Yeah.
Drake May wasn't.
There's not really a minors league for NFL players.
No, but like even if you take Drake May, as long as we're still talking about this game, like last year, he was kind of average, middle of the road,
Yeah.
hurt a little bit, right? Again, no protection.
Hmm.
This year they beef up the O line, get a
Yep.
couple more weapons, and now he's being talked like he's going to be better than Josh Allen and Mahomes,
Yep.
right? It's just like, okay, sometimes we need to just be a little patient with these guys and
Yeah.
just let them figure stuff out.
Put them in the right situation and give
Right.
them some time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem when all this money's getting thrown around.
For sure. So the Patriots on top of the AFC at 9-2 with the Broncos. Jets fall to 2-8. So let's move on here. We got a couple more games. Let's go through quickly here. We got the Dolphins at the Commanders, the last game on the international slate. So the
Yeah.
Dolphins win in OT over the Commanders. The first game in Madrid, Spain. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Achan had a great game. Devon Achan finally. The Miami Dolphins get their run game going, and he had 120 rushing yards on the day. So.
Yeah. Definitely powering Miami's offense, right? And I think even though this game was fairly low scoring,
Mhm.
pretty entertaining game back forth and
It
went
was.
went to OT. So yeah, a
And then
little
on the
bit of
first play of OT, Marcus Mariota throws a pick.
oh, brutal.
Gives it to the Dolphins immediately, and they were able to kick that game-winning field goal because they were
Yeah.
set up in pretty good field position right
They
off the
just
hop.
wanted to make sure the first game in Madrid just went to overtime. Just to give the fans a little bit of extra
As
excitement.
long as it doesn't end in a tie, don't do that to them.
Hmm. Right? Oh man. So yeah, not much else to talk about in this game.
Nope.
The game doesn't matter for the standings really at all right now. So let's move on. Huge win for the Chicago Bears. Puts
My
them
dog,
in sole position.
Brooksee can't lose.
All right, it's not about you,
Dog's
guy.
picks.
Hey, what's this sign say? Stop speaking.
That's for you, not for me.
Hey, I got the sign. Don't make me tap the sign, Bradley.
Don't make me tap the sign. I love that.
But yes, the Bears find a way again
Hmm.
to win 1917 over the Vikings, move into sole possession of first place in the NFC North. What is happening?
Kind of a wild finish. Chicago, like there are teams like Atlanta and Minnesota, like we're about to talk about, that just keep finding ways to lose. Chicago somehow finding ways to win. Minnesota scored with under a minute left to take the lead, but fucking Devin Duvernay on the ensuing kickoff, 56-yard kickoff return to get the Bears immediately into field goal range. Like wild.
Yeah,
How do you give that
incredible.
up, Vikings, in the last minute? Come on.
You had one job.
Yeah. So of course Santos comes in and boots the last second field goal to win the game, and had me sweating a little bit with my dog's pick, but get it done. So
Yeah,
Chicago, they've won 5 one-score games this year, man. So I don't know how they're getting this done, but
I don't know, but I
yeah.
hope it stops. So, and if you didn't pick the dog right, you wouldn't be sweating, right? That's why they're the dogs. So,
Exactly.
anyways, screw the Bears.
Screw that. So we'll move on from my successful dog pick, obviously, to Calvo's again
Yeah,
unsuccessful dog pick because this guy can't pick a dog to save his life.
this is just a
The
terrible week for me.
the
Okay,
Tampa Bay
first off,
Buccaneers blew it, giving up 44 to the Bills. Go ahead.
yeah,
First off,
first off, I took my lock pick for the sake of the podcast. Okay, spice it up a little
lost
bit.
his dog and his lock. Love it.
But for my dog, I really did think that the Bucks had a good chance to go in there and beat the Bills. And
They
they
did.
did. They put up a good fight. Josh Allen had to go God mode apparently,
Yep.
and 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing, unstoppable force in this game. And he said he got banged up and didn't even really play that great. Pardon me.
Pardon me. 317 passing yards and 40 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Yeah, not that's just kind of an average day for
Yeah, excuse me, Josh. Okay,
him. 'Excuse
317.
me, bitch.
Yeah, man. But his final rushing touchdown was the 75th of his career for rushing purposes,
Yeah.
and that ties an NFL QB record with Mr. Cam Newton.
So his next rushing touchdown will put him in first place all time for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. That's wild.
Well, that's usually how it works, buddy.
Just
If you pass the next guy.
you're a fucking asshole.
Oh,
Just
that
spelling
was
it out for the Bravonians a little bit,
I
but
thought it was the theme of the week here.
that's fine. Jalen Hurts is gonna
I'm
break
sorry,
that
I got a
record.
Philly hat on. I'm like bringing on an alter ego here.
You just like even more of an asshole now that
Just
you were.
got it. Yeah. Believe it or not, there is another level, and I think I've achieved it.
You might have tapped into it now.
You let me power up, pal.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this other than the Bucks? They kept it close, but they couldn't keep up with Buffalo in the end.
Well, I think some of these injuries are starting to pile up, right? They're not getting those key plays when they need them. And but I think just being in the division that they're in, they've still got a good chance to make the playoffs. But man, some of those teams are sneaking up on them, so they better be careful.
Well, yeah, because the wild thing is they fall to 6-4 with this loss. The Panthers won last week in OT, and we're going to talk about that one here for a sec. The Panthers win in OT over the Falcons to go to 6-5. So if the Panthers win this coming week and the Bucks lose, the Panthers, don't look now, are in first place at fucking week 13 of the NFL season. The Panthers would be in first place in the NFC South. That's wild to me. Bryce Young went absolutely nuclear this past week. 448 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Dude lit it up.
If the Panthers make the playoffs and you
Yeah.
called it at the start of the year, I'm having you investigated.
I got the script, man.
Yeah, no shit. It's only
Oh,
explanation for all these dog picks, but
that'd be pretty sweet if one of those predictions works out, especially a fucking wild card one like the Panthers.
absolutely.
Be
Well,
pretty happy about that.
my Baker MVP voting is getting a beating here just
Yeah,
because of the losses, but
yeah.
still time. Still time. But yes, let's move on. We'll talk about the Panthers because yeah, they're definitely making it interesting
Hmm.
and we've said, hey, if your team's not going to do anything exciting, we're not going to talk about them. I'll tell you, the Panthers making things exciting. They kind of remind me of the Cardinals from last year,
Yeah,
where they had like these winnable games. Sometimes they're going their way, sometimes they're not, right? And it's going to be interesting to see what they do down the stretch here. I haven't quite looked at their schedule to see what's remaining, but hey, they might shock a few teams heading down the road here.
kind of. I actually kind of think that this was pretty wild that the Panthers were able to do this in Atlanta because didn't Atlanta shut Carolina out earlier this year in Carolina? Wasn't it like 26-0 when they played
Oh,
previously?
yeah, they may have. Yeah,
That's
sure.
crazy then that Bryce did this game. So,
He's like, oh
um,
yeah,
nice to see Ted McMillan get involved. I have him on a couple of my fantasy teams, and he hasn't really been super productive this year. But he 8 catches for 130 yards this game, so he's starting to hopefully round into form and find that sort of I guess chemistry with Bryce Young a little bit. And unlike the Lions, Carolina Panthers
oh
could convert on fourth down.
come on.
Four for six on fourth downs. So, when you can continue your drives like that consistently, it shows some guts right there. Being able to convert on critical plays, and it's not something every team can do apparently.
Apparently not. Don't
Man,
worry,
that hat looks good on you, bud.
you'll get yours. Don't you worry. Now, hold on. Let's speak about the hat for a
It
second.
looks great, buddy.
Okay. It is kind of a cool hat, but it makes me want to vomit, like I said.
Cool design
Now,
though, right? I'm glad you picked that one. It's neat.
it is pretty neat. Let's talk about the stipulations of this bet here.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm obviously a man of my word. I've got
Yeah.
it on. Went out and got this.
Yeah.
Is it really every time you guys win?
We did
Am I
say
remembering that
we
right?
did say every time the Eagles win, you got to wear it on the next week's pod, but we should probably come up with a way that you can like redeem yourself or get earn your way
That
out of.
that would be nice.
What do you think? What are you thinking?
That would be nice. I don't like green.
What are
Green.
you thinking? What do you think is grounds to not have to wear the hat?
Well, what do you think is more fair? The Lions have to win 2 in a row. Okay. obviously we got the Giants this week.
Yep.
Jackson Dart's back.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll talk about that later. But then we got Green Bay. Then we got the Rams. I think we got Pittsburgh. We've also got the Bears and the Vikings again. So Lions got to win two in a row, or the
Is
Eagles
two,
lose,
is two
whatever comes
enough?
first.
Is two enough? I feel like it should be three in a row.
Three in a row.
Yeah.
Having Green Bay and the Rams back to back.
Yeah. Hey man, if you guys are contenders, you'll get it done.
Ugh. All
Backs
right,
against the
deal.
okay, yeah.
Or league Eagles lose though, whatever comes
Or the
first.
Eagles lose two in a row.
Two in a row. Come on. You guys have the most cake matchups the rest of the
We
year.
do not. We got the
You
toughest schedule
do.
in the league this year.
You do not
Maybe the back end is
tell
a little bit
me
easier.
you have the most. No.
Maybe the back end of the schedule's a little easier. All
I'm
right,
gonna
fine.
go
If the
back and
Eagles
see if
lose
I can
one,
Google.
as soon as the
Okay.
Eagles lose, you don't have to wear it anymore.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, you've got pretty cake schedule the rest
Or
of the
the
year.
or the Lions win three in a row.
Okay.
All right.
You know.
I don't know,
Ugh.
man. I think
Still
you're gonna
gotta
want to
wear
wear
this for
that
at
hat.
least 2 more weeks.
I think you're gonna want to wear that for yeah for every episode. It looks great.
No.
Fans are gonna love it.
Moving on. Um, Another thing that's not worth talking about. Jaguars pounded the Chargers 35-6. Herbert's starting to play like the guy that you were chirping last year.
I might have to chirp them again, see if they can get the Chargers going. Yeah, they look like shit some weeks. I don't know, man. They're so off and on. I'm not convinced that this is a good team anymore. I know they're 7-4. I'm not convinced. They seem to be laying a lot of eggs this year, and the Jaguars are not the team you can really lay an egg against. The Jaguars are a decent team. You know me, I've been talking up the Jaguars for a year and a half. I want to like this team so bad, but yeah. One thing kind of note in this game, Josh Hines Allen hit a milestone, so he broke
Oh,
the career sack record for the Jags in this game. He hit 56 career sacks, so he's tops all time. As far as the Jags go, he passed Tony Brackens, who had 55 before, so that's kind of cool. He's been a really good player for a lot of years now.
congratulations, Josh.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we got a couple more here. We got the Rams and Seahawks. This was a divisional battle. We knew it was going to be a slugfest. We knew it was probably going to be a defensive battle. Turns out it was.
Yep.
The Rams made Sam Darnold look silly though. Four picks off of him.
But
Despite the four picks, though, the Seahawks are still in this game. So like these are two of the best teams in the NFC, and it's very clear.
yeah, I think they're just scary on both sides of the ball. Like Stafford's playing at an all-time high, and
Mhm.
the defense is just stepping up, and they're getting those key takeaways. Obviously, the four interceptions, right when you need it the most in those big games. And hey, anytime you can beat your division too, it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, Rams only had the ball for 22 minutes. The Seahawks had it for the other 38 minutes, and yet the Rams get it done. Matt Stafford, I think, is probably the front runner for MVP now at this point, eh?
Hey, I wouldn't be upset about it. Love that guy.
20 something like 27 touchdowns to two picks all year. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
What,
filthy.
what a ratio.
And against a pretty good Seahawks defense too, right? So play clean football, and that's the difference.
Rams and
Win
Eagles
close
tied
games.
atop the NFC at 8-2, and then the Ravens and Browns. This one, Ravens. I just basically wanted to mention that the Ravens have won four in a row now. If they win this coming week, which it looks like they probably should, they're playing the Jets. They'll be tied as long as Pittsburgh loses against the Bears. They'll be tied for the division lead if they win five in a row here to take over that division lead. What a wild turnaround!
Love the Ravens right now. They're rolling.
Yeah, so the Browns fall to what 2-8, I think now. Yeah, 2-8. But Shadur Sanders finally makes his NFL debut. He went 4 for 16 for 47 yards and a pick, so not great. He almost had a late touchdown, but it got batted away by the Ravens defense there. So
Yeah, I mean, tough spot for him to come in, right? You're not starting. You're coming in cold, and didn't get any first team reps like at all. Like I don't think this is his fault that it went the way it did. So they've announced that Shadur is going to start this coming week here and get his first opportunity at a real start here. So you'd like to hope that with a full week of preparation and getting these reps with these guys in actual practice, then he'll have a little bit better showing this week coming up and a little bit better opportunity, I think, playing against the Raiders than the Ravens. So
to me, it's like, who do you view as your quarterback of the future? Like, who's your franchise guy? Is it Dylan Gabriel or is it Shadur Sanders? Because if it's like, I don't know where Dylan Gabriel's health is at. I don't know if he's able to go this week and they're just choosing Shadur. But
I
if
think he's
if
still hurt.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So if Shador is your guy that you want to be your franchise quarterback going forward, it's kind of a lost year already. Like you're 2-8. You might as well just start him and see what you have in him. Like obviously you're not going to get a real proper look because you got to fortify that offensive line a little bit. You got to give him some more a better team to play with. But you might as well just see what he's made of over the down the stretch here the last month and a half, right?
I
Is that just
agree.
me? Like,
Well, I think you get given the opportunity to start, right?
yep.
And if you're not doing so hot when he's actually ready, then maybe you get one game to say, okay, no, you've got an extra opportunity here. And if it doesn't work out, then they just go back to Gabriel. What difference does it make, right? But I think this
What
is
do you have to
probably all
lose at
part
this
of
point, right?
right.
Like,
I think this is kind of not obviously Gabriel getting hurt, but I think this is all part of the plan anyways, right? And just
I
back
hope Dylan
half of the
Gabriel
year.
getting hurt wasn't part of the plan.
No, obviously that's not my point here,
Yeah.
but just like for Shadur to be starting near the back half of the year, I think was always going to be the plan. It has that feeling, but it just happened a little sooner than they anticipated, right? Because when
Yeah.
you're 2-8, like at some point they're going to say, okay, well, what do we got in this other guy?
That's it. And like now would be the time over the next month. They've got next coming up this week. They got a soft matchup against the Raiders. They're playing a banged up 49ers defense the following week. Then they got the Titans the week after, and then they play the Bears, who kind of are hit or miss a lot of times. So good chance for Shador to actually come in and be productive and get a taste of the NFL against some not amazing defenses. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Well, that's our recap of the week, the ones
Yeah,
that we found that were the most exciting.
yeah, man.
Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Please let us know. Drop a comment. And let us let us hear your thoughts on that Detroit Philly game. And again, we're not saying it was the ref's fault. We're not saying it was anything along those lines. We're just saying.
We're just saying because we're bitter about having to wear a Philadelphia Eagles hat on the
Yeah, it's
pod,
gross.
or
It's gross. Ugh.
oh, it's beautiful. Let's go. What do we got?
All
You got
right,
a dumpster fire for us.
I do.
It's
And
got to be those Lions, right?
I think one can tell I'm a man of my word. Like I said, got the hat on. I
Yep,
owned up to my bet.
you are.
No team, person, anything is untouchable. And it pains me, and mostly because I'm fucking bitter that I have to wear this god awful thing in front of everybody, that it is the Detroit Lions.
Woo!
Hold on. Not the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions offense.
Okay.
You
Still,
did not
woo!
do it one more time. Why not? I hate you. Uh, like I said off the top, they just felt like they were all out of sorts. And I don't want to say it was all the defense. I don't want to say it was all just them. It was something in between. And there's no excuses. You're supposed to be a championship caliber team, and you go out and you lay an egg in prime time against another team that you're saying that you are better than,
Mhm.
theoretically, right? To say that we have these aspirations and you don't,
Yeah, of
right?
course you feel that way. Yeah.
Right. And likewise, right?
Yep.
I don't think it's a secret.
No.
But where I get frustrated and why I'm throwing them up as my pick of the week is that Jared Goff had little to no time. Offensive line is supposed to be one of our strengths. Now, obviously, Frank Ragnow retired. Um, we lost a couple other guys off the line too that are no longer starting, and injuries too, right?
Yep.
So it's one of these things that was supposed to be a strength. And when you're giving up that many pressures, it doesn't allow us to open up our passing game to the way that we normally do, extending the field. And the few plays that we did get it, we had big chunk plays. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Gibbs and JMO were the two biggest offensive stars in this game, and pretty easy to see why. They're the only ones that did anything, right? But even then, Williams had a drop. St. Brown had multiple drops on
Yeah.
fourth down,
Unlike
which
him
is
for
not
sure.
like him.
No.
I heard he's playing possibly through a wrist injury right now, which might be impacting him a bit. But a lot of these passes were either behind him, away from him, above him. Like, what are you supposed to do with that, right?
Yeah,
And I
Jared
think is
Goff had
this,
a off night for sure.
yeah, one of these rare nights where you're like, okay, Jared Goff just did not have it. I don't think it was pressure. I don't think any of that got to them. I just think maybe they underprepared. Maybe they were
Seen
getting
ghosts out there a little
blanketed.
bit.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to take it all away. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of great defensive plays on both sides of the ball, and when we were watching the game together, I mentioned
Yeah.
that, and it's like, man, we just cannot do anything.
Yeah.
I know you felt those frustrations too. So feel free if you want to add the Eagles offense into the dumpster fire, go ahead. But I think one of these things is
Might as well
what you
toss
take
him in there
from
while we're at it a little bit. Yeah.
this is what's hard about the dumpster fire, right? Because every team can have these flash weeks where they're just not themselves.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
quite
not
a few
psyched
of
about how many
those.
times the Eagles had to punt this game. So maybe we'll just hold the Eagles like offenses. Maybe we'll just hold their feet to the fire a little bit, but not toss
Sure.
them right in.
They're just dangling above right now.
Yeah.
But no, I think the point still remains the same. It's easy to hate on these guys, right? That game could have went either way. And
Yeah.
like I said, not playing your best, you still had a chance to win. That says something about your team. And a second matchup is going to be very difficult between these two teams if it comes down to that. But why they're on my dumpster fire? Maybe just because it was so uncharacteristic of them. Watching the drops, seeing the off time routes, calling checkdowns basically all game long once you got a little bit behind,
Yeah.
being a little too over aggressive at times to a fault. And maybe you convert those, maybe you don't. And if you do convert them, maybe it goes differently. Maybe it doesn't. That defense was still playing pretty good. But when you missed a field goal, you missed an extra point.
Yep.
Sorry, what I should say is you miss taking those field goal opportunities and then you miss an extra point. That's really the difference in the game, right?
Yep.
Instead, turn the ball over, give prime position, and the ball gets put down your throat. So as painful it was, no team, like I said, or player is safe from the dumpster fire of the week. What's on the tape is what's there. So Lions offense, you nasty.
We're an equal opportunity podcast, and that's what I love about us, right?
Don't go from 30 points a week to 9. Come on.
Lions, you cooked. All right.
I
So let's
love that.
talk. We got another Brooksee's Beauty to do. The second Brooksee's Beauty. And I know you're going to hate this one. Brooksee's Beauties this week goes out to the Chicago Bears. Come on and give me a crisp high five,
Oh my
Chicago. Bring it
God.
in. Bring it in. Crisp high five. They walked into Minnesota and they
Why are you
played
the
like
way you are?
they they played like a team that finally remembered football counts in all four quarters. The defense didn't just show up. They set up camp, they paid rent, and they lived in the Vikings backfield all day long, limiting JJ McCarthy to completing half his passes for like a paltry 130 yards or something like that. When the moment came to close it out, the Bears did something truly beautiful, something they don't often do. They didn't implode. So, in a season where chaos has been their love language, Chicago delivered a complete, clean, composed win on the road. That's growth, that's grit, that's a beauty. That's Brooksy's beauty for the week. The Eagles and Bears, I just want to say at this point, have a little alliance at the moment as well. Of course, we'll have to break that truce next week when Chicago comes into Philly. But right now, the Bears are 3-0 against the other teams in the NFC East, and the Eagles are 3-0 against all the other teams in the NFC North. So we're kind of doing each other a little favor here, helping each other win our respective divisions, and I love it. So Chicago
So you
Bears are
guys
Brooksy's
can both
beauties
ties
this
and get wrecked.
week. It's not going to be a tie. It's going to be an Eagles blowout. Anyway.
Can't wait to take this hat off.
So we got the dumpster fire in the books. We got my beauty for the week. Let's talk about some week 12 hype matchups, buddy, because those Bears that we just talked about are hosting the Steelers. And I kind of mentioned it earlier, but the Ravens, if they win against the Jets this week and these Steelers lose to the Bears, they're tied for the AFC North division lead. It's very possible to see after this coming week. So,
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's no secret that Pittsburgh's been just kind of leaning on the run game, and the Bears have been defending the run not too bad lately. So it's going to be one of these games that Pittsburgh might unfortunately have to do it a little bit more, as Aaron Rodgers may not be playing. Looks like he suffered a wrist injury.
mhm.
Some are saying a fractured wrist, so like a slight fracture, but he's pushing to play. See if he gets cleared to do it. But if not, it'll be Mason Rudolph. And one thing we do know, Rudolph can sling it too
You can.
if
But
he's
the
given the
Steelers
time.
probably have to lean on their run game if Rodgers doesn't play, which might actually work in their favor because the Bears give up 5.2 yards of carry to opposing running backs. And The only thing that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing is the turnover battle. Chicago actually leads the league in turnover differential. They're plus 16 right now. They've forced a ton of takeaways. It's going to be critical. I think the Steelers, they score a lot of their points off turnovers, so I think that's going to be where the game's kind of won or lost right there.
Right. Yeah. And I think again, it's going to be takeaways for sure in this game because I think it will be pretty low scoring. Pretty good defensive teams here. So, yeah, one mess up could cost you the whole game.
We've seen Rodgers try and play through injury before, and if he plays hurt, I think the Steelers' offense is gonna look about as threatening as a toddler with a super soaker. Just nothing to it, nothing scary about it whatsoever.
Well, at least it's his non-throwing hands, so you never know. But it'll be interesting because they're really gonna have to sell out to protect him. Because if he
Yeah,
gets drilled, then unless he's casting it up, but then how do you catch the
he's already a
snaps,
fucking
right?
statue back there. So,
Right? Yeah.
all
No
right, buddy,
tush
we
push
got
for him.
yeah, exactly. All right, buddy, we got a fucking perfect spot for a redemption game, for a bounce back game for your Lions. They got the Giants coming into Ford Field. What are we looking for here?
Well, I think you never know. The Giants are playing pretty scrappy. Again, I hope it's one of these things that the Lions don't lose two in a row very often. And it's one of these things that if you don't get right against this team, that's 2-9. Yes, Jackson Dart's probably coming back, but you are far more competitive of a team than the Giants are.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to take anything away from the Giants. I think they beat a certain team this year already, right?
no,
Um,
doesn't ring a bell.
yeah, I won't say it was a good team, but they beat a team
Fuck off.
and almost did it twice. But anyways, the yeah, I think
No, did
what's
not.
going to be interesting is Jackson Dart actually fully healthy? Because if not, we're always seeing this instability at QB for the Giants, right? And it also makes things a little bit difficult for the Lions because you're like, well, who do we prepare against?
Right.
Because you
Yeah.
know James is just going to throw the ball downfield. He doesn't want to run the ball.
No.
Doesn't know he's going to get another opportunity. So, like you said, I think it's a prime bounce back. Lions are pretty heavy favorites at home, but if you take them lightly, you never know.
That's it. And my Eagles, it's Dallas week, baby. We're going into Dallas this time, going into Jar World to face the 4-5-1 Cowboys. I think the Eagles being 3.5 point favorites is a little bit disingenuous. The Eagles should probably be at least 7 point favorites here. Dallas is shit. Their offense, obviously, they've got a good offense. Their defense looked okay last week, but let's face it, they were playing the Raiders. Your defense is going to look good against the Raiders. I don't care what defense you are. I don't know. This to me, this it seems like a mismatch. I'm thinking the Eagles go to 9-2 here and pretty much cement the division.
Yeah, it screams tie to me for some reason.
Dallas going to tie another game this year.
Can you imagine?
And we talked about turnovers with the Bears. The Eagles also get it done in the turnover differential. They're plus sixes here. Dallas has a negative turnover differential. So if we can punch a couple balls out, pick Dak off. Dak loves to throw picks against us when we put him under pressure. So look for a couple of those. Coop maybe scoop one.
Never know.
Yeah.
Dak is prone to it, right? But is it time to like worry about your offense and the negativity that's kind of going around this Eagles team? Seems every day AJ Brown's getting asked a question.
Well, AJ Brown needs to shut up and stay off of social media once in a while. Like, I don't even think he's necessarily unhappy with his role in the offense. I think he's just unhappy with how he's been able to produce lately. And like I get it. Like if I'm on a team that's winning, but I'm not doing much to help that team win, of course I'm gonna be frustrated because I'm like, well, fuck, I want to help out. Like I want to be involved here a lot more. I'm a good player. Let me fucking catch the ball and score some tutties and rack up some yards. But at the same time, I think he's fine with the fact that they're winning. I think it's kind of blown out of proportion by the media a little bit, honestly. But yeah, you're right. Our offense does have a little bit of it does have some problems.
Well, I think his quote, I think it was today, was pretty telling. He said, "Well, if I'm not the same player as I was last year, does that mean Saquon's not?" Like, like, what are you doing? What are you doing, AJ? Just burning bridges?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he just needs to stop talking. And Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, already came to him and said, "Hey, can we just cool it on the social media shit, guy, and like giving the media shit to feed off of here? Like just."
Right.
But I don't know. He keeps running his mouth. I don't know. Is he like? I'd love to see him stay in an Eagles jersey. He's so good, but at the same time, he's kind of a cancer at this point, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, stars want the ball, right?
Yeah,
It
but
is what it is.
you can't be putting your team on blast every week though, right?
No, I agree. I agree.
Like you're 8-2, just shut up. If you were 2-8, I would get it, but
Well, that's I think what's frustrating. Like you guys are cruising
yeah,
and nothing's like everything's
we're
got to
still
be a
not
big
happy.
deal.
Yeah, I know.
Like
It's got to be perfect. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but
It's kind
like
of the Eagles media though, and like the Eagles fan base. It's like we've kind of come to expect we're Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champs, right? So it's like if everything's not perfect, we're gonna fucking pick at it. It sucks.
yeah, like just learn how to be happy, okay?
Yeah, exactly. It's not
Well,
easy.
right. Well, two teams that I don't care if are ever happy. The Vikings and the Packers face off. Pretty big divisional game
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Lions need a favor. See what happens here, but
Come on,
Vikings
Minnesota.
have been kind of struggling, right? Like JJ is, I think he's turned the ball over like 9 times in 5 games. He's getting pretty roasted for it.
Yep.
Um, but he's going to need a bounce back game here to start proving some people wrong. And I think same with Jordan Love. Like Jordan Love has not looked great the last couple games, and they're just not getting it done, right? So obviously, Packers heavily favored at home against this 4-6 Vikings team, but the Vikings can play, especially in the division, and it'll be interesting to see.
Packers favored by a touchdown, but historically, games between these two teams are close. I don't care where they are in the standings. Normally, the games are within a score.
Yeah,
27 of the last 45 games were decided by 7 points or fewer. So that's the way these battles always go between these two teams. It's going to be a slugfest. And yeah, you need Minnesota to do you a favor.
absolutely. Come on, Vikes.
This game actually kind of feels less like a rivalry and more like a custody battle where both parents are unfit. One of them technically has a job. Like the Packers might win this game, but only because the Vikings keep finding new ways to lose.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings are turning into the Bears. It's weird.
Yeah.
One game that I find very interesting is the Indianapolis Colts coming off their bye week against the
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, man.
And like we talked about earlier, the Chiefs are struggling. They're 5-5, sitting around 500 for probably the first time, and I don't even remember how long.
Right. Yeah.
They're kind of flipping the script with the Colts. Colts are 8-2 for the first time, and I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
And
Peyton Manning days.
it feels like that cast of ragtags that are just getting it done, right? Led by Daniel Jones, the ultimate castaway here over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But something interesting could happen here. Say the Colts win. They're the dogs on the road.
Yep.
Chiefs go to 5-6. And say the Broncos, the Ravens, the Bills, the Pats, all these guys keep rolling. The Chiefs might be having a fairly tough hill to climb to get into the playoffs.
It's very conceivable that if the Chiefs don't win maybe five of their last 7 games, that they could be on the outside looking in.
I was gonna say even two losses
Yeah. Would
could
put them
do
at
them
10
in.
and 7. That might not be
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
even one loss, like you'd be a couple games behind, like for the last. Whew,
You got some tough matchups coming up down the stretch, starting this week with the Colts, and it almost feels like a must win for the Chiefs. And
I think,
you love to see
yeah,
it.
you do love to see it, see what they're made of. But one thing I know, don't piss off the Chiefs. They'll find some stupid way to do it. But Colts
Probably. Yeah.
defense, though, it's going to make life a little bit difficult for Mahomes, especially getting Sauce Gardner in there. So,
That's it. The defense already looked good before they got Sauce. So, I mean, yeah, might be panic button hitting time if the Chiefs blow this one.
yeah, no doubt. Chiefs fans, just making sure you're okay. I know you're not used to this, but
It's
it
okay.
reminds me of like what's on Always Sunny. They're like, what's with these like poor people? They don't know. They're like, but we're old poor. These guys are new poor, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we're used to this pain,
We're,
so get over it,
Chiefs fans aren't used to being fucking on welfare, and that's it's kind of a beautiful thing.
right?
We
Oh
all
man,
you're every team has to have a few down years. It's gonna happen once in a while. You can't be
absolutely.
good every year, Chiefs fans. Sorry.
Yep. Bye. Anyways, the game that's also going to be a banger.
Ooh.
Sunday nighter. Bucks at the Rams.
Battle of two first place teams, first place in the NFC South and West. It's
Yeah.
this is going to be telling for sure. This is going to go a long way towards playoff matchups as well.
Playoff matchups, MVP votes.
Yeah,
just to keep pace in the NFC.
Yeah.
Dang, this game has banger written all over it, and it's kind of too bad that Tampa Bay is not fully healthy to kind of compete with the Rams here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's not going to be a disappointing game. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, you're right. Bucks are coming in wounded. They're trying to get this playoff push under control here, but they've lost a couple in a row. Defense has been giving up some huge plays. The defense is banged up. So is their offense. But yeah, Baker, if he wants to, like, these are the types of matchups where Baker's got to just kind of put the team on his back if he if he wants to be in that MVP conversation, right? Or
Yep,
I'm sure he doesn't even care about that. He just wants to get his team to the playoffs. So
absolutely. Hey, just got to get in.
yeah.
It's the only thing you need, right? So
Well, in that
yeah,
division, it's going to be a lot easier to do so. But hey, man, don't sleep on those Panthers. They're coming, right? So Bucks still got to get some wins down the stretch here.
give me a score prediction for that game.
Uh, I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think the Rams are going to wreck. I think the Rams are flying right now. The Bucks are not. I think it's going to be Rams by 3 scores. Let's say 31-10.
Oh wow,
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I don't think it's going to be like that.
No. Okay.
I'm going to say 21-17 Rams.
21-17 Rams, but you still think the Rams get it done, go to 9-2.
Yeah.
Bucks fall to 6-5. Okay. We should be picking the scores for all these games.
I feel
We're
like the Bucks are just doomed for that. Like they're almost like the Steelers of the NFC, just destined for like 9-8.
I mean, I was going to say show your logic, but over the past however many years, that's kind of what they've done, right?
Right.
9-8, maybe
Yeah.
10-7.
We don't need no long division here. the
That's it.
NFC South sucks.
Yeah, they do. Most years, yeah. Okay, so we'll go from that to the Panthers. As like we've said, those Panthers are heating up. They got a chance to take over first place in the NFC South. They're going into San Fran to face those 7-4 Niners on Monday night. Carolina's the underdogs, but I think they've got a good chance of winning this game, buddy. And I'm once we talk about I'm going to give you a score prediction for this one once you've said your piece on it.
I think what's going to be interesting is that if the 49ers fall to 7-5, like that's a huge log jam right in the middle of that NFC, right? And
Yep.
same with the Panthers. They win, they're moving to 7-5, right? So like it's just getting more and more convoluted here, and nobody can really see through the mud, especially as we get down the stretch here. So I think it'll be interesting to see because yeah, Bryce kind of went off last game, and we'll see how he does against this 49ers defense. They're going to scheme for him, but if we can keep seeing some of these breakouts by the Panthers, like the Rico Dowdles, the Ted McMillans, then they got enough firepower to go against a lot of these teams. So
I 100% agree. To me, like the Panthers have not been good for like the last 5 years at least.
at
They don't
least,
get they don't get a whole lot of primetime opportunities. So they're making their Monday Night Football debut this year, and to me, it's kind of like getting asked to prom at 29 years old. Like it's cute, but it's awkward. It's weird. What are you
is
doing?
it though?
So I guess if the better they get, the more primetime chances they're going to get. So
Yeah,
they better fucking show up. I like the Panthers. I like what Bryce has been able to do, especially last week.
absolutely. Dave Canales has got that team humming. So to see where they were like even 2 years ago to what they're doing now, like they're competitive.
I can't wait
That's
till
all
they
you can
win
really
that
ask.
division and just prove me right at the start of the year. My prediction for them to win. I'm gonna look so good.
Hey, happens sometimes, I guess, but not very often.
Blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, eh?
Absolutely.
Okay, man. So I think, man, I think the Panthers go in and upset. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say this one's like 22 to. It's gonna be like a weird, like almost a scoregami, like a weird. There's gonna be like a safety in there somewhere. So let's say 22-18 Panthers.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's actually going to be fairly low scoring. I'm going to say 17-14 49ers.
You think the Niners pull it out at home? Okay. 17-14. Okay. Well, I think so that's I think most of the decent matchups we got on tap coming up in week 12. Those are the ones we're excited about anyway. So
Mhm.
why don't we jump into our locks and dogs for this week, buddy?
Locks and dogs.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
I'm going to need a bounce back in the worst way, losing both last week.
Lost both your lock and your dog.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know what? Got to be a little ballsy sometimes, right? But why don't you start? You took the Eagles last week as
I
your
did.
lock.
I'm catching you. You're 9-2. I'm at 8-3 with my locks record, buddy. So I'm right there. I did win with my Eagles last week, so I think I'm going to take a layup because I want to try and catch you. So I'm going to take the
Okay, okay.
Seahawks over the Titans. I know it's in Tennessee. I don't think that's going to matter. The Seahawks are a wagon. Seahawks over the Titans. Who are you taking for your lock?
I think it's also kind of a layup this week. I got the Ravens versus the Jets.
Yeah, that's a layup
The
for sure.
Baltimores.
The Baltimore's, yeah, for sure. Ravens looking for their fifth straight win as your lock. My dog's record just keeps improving, man. 8-3 with my dogs. I took the Bears last week. They snuck it out. So this week I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. They're 4-point dogs going into Vegas, but I think he's going to conjure up some magic here in his first career start. And I think Quinshawn Judkins is going to run for a bunch of yards. I think the Cleveland Browns get this one done, and I don't know if I want to pick a score. It'll probably be by one score or less, but Cleveland's going to get it done. Who's your dog? At three
Well,
and eight.
hold on. Brown's the color of poo. And the Browns, I think, forget, or maybe you forget, that the
Yeah.
Raiders don't have that bad of a defense. They got a guy called Max Crosby over there. And I don't know. I think they might give Shadur some fits.
Oh
But
yeah, he might disrupt some shit for sure.
that that dog record smells like 8-4.
We'll, we'll find out. I seem to be getting shit lucky this year, so
That is true. That
Cleveland will
is
probably
true.
just get a random turnover late. Miles Garrett will probably turn something over late and get Shadur back on the field for a game-winning drive or something. I could see it. I could see
Well,
it.
there you go. Well, one thing is my dog record needs some help. So
Yeah. Oof.
hoping to go to 4-8 after this week. I'm going to take the Cardinals versus the Jaguars.
Okay, okay.
Kind of
I
a
don't think
spicy
you're
one.
going to be improving your dog's record, buddy. I think you're going to be 3-9.
Well, that's okay
Those
because I don't
Jags are
care.
flying high right now.
I think the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett,
Jacoby Brissett's been fucking lights out lately,
just
though.
been tossing dimes everywhere.
Honestly, if
So
he was running this offense all year, the Cardinals might be a lot better off than they are. Fucking
you
Kyler
never
has not
know,
done them any favors. Stick with Jacoby.
right? So yeah.
Amen.
Anyways, that's all I got.
Okay. So there's locks and dogs. I think that's probably going to do it for us this week. What do you think?
I agree. I think a little tapped out here.
Well, okay. Well,
And
let's wrap
the
it here.
sooner I can get off this thing, the better.
Well, I like to keep you here all night so you can keep that hat on, but I know you're looking to take it off.
Going
So,
instantly in the trash. Come on, Cowboys. Beat them this week. That'd be so bittersweet for me.
wait, why would that be bittersweet for you?
Well, I guess it wouldn't be. It'd be win-win for me.
Yeah, yeah. There's no bitterness about that for you.
The bittersweetness is just watching you cry about it.
That's just sweetness, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh
No,
man.
your
Okay.
tears are salty, bud.
All right. Well, that I think we'll wrap up episode 12 of season 3 for us. So, I mean, if you have any predictions, you want to fuck. Let me restart that. Fuck. I got nothing written here, so I'm just like winging it here. So. All right, well, I think that'll wrap up episode 12 of season 3 for us. For Calvo, I'm Brooksee. Again, this is the NFLA. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your predictions for the upcoming week. We want to hear your thoughts on our takes. Get at us. Call us idiots. We don't care. Just give us something to reply to. Give us some content to interact with. We want to hear from you.
We're very lonely. Please
We,
talk to us.
we are. Please talk to us. We need friends. We need friends on the NFL here. Hey, guys.
But for real, hope you're enjoying the content. If you haven't already, follow us on social media. The NFLA page is up there. So if you like the music, look for that synopsis.band Instagram account. Some new music coming soon, hopefully.
We also, I mean, the main what I do want to say is the main one of the main goals of us doing this pod was the fact that in Canada there's fans of literally all 32 NFL teams, and we wanted to kind of bring that to the forefront. The nice thing about being a fan in Canada of the NFL is that fact. There's so much diversity, so we want to start having some more guests on. We have a silent partner. The reason you see some graphics or some nice visuals is our silent partner Harrison, who helps us out, makes us look better than we actually are.
Truth.
All these fun graphics and stats you see pop up on the screen, that's him. So I think he's a Bills fan. There's a lot of Bills fans here in Canada, here in Ontario especially. So we're going to have Harrison on soon at some point. We'll chat Bills. A lot of you Bravonians might love that. So stay tuned for that. But
So yeah, like Brooksy said, all across Canada, multiple different teams. So if you're Canadian listening in, thank you. If you're American listening, thank you. But if you're Canadian, drop a comment down below on what your favorite team is. And if it's somebody that we haven't heard of before, be a fan of that team. Who knows? Maybe you can even be a guest on
Let's
the
get some of the
NFL.
listeners on as guests. Absolutely. It's a great idea.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. All right, we'll wrap it there. So for Calvo, I'm Brooksee. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the NFLA.